Good day, I am J. Anthony Espanyol Orcales, and for today's video, we will tackle about what is Republic Act 11479. Then I will going to explain and emphasize what are the issues concerning the law and what can I suggest to resolve those issues. First, what is Republic Act 11479? Republic Act 11479 is a counter-terrorism law intended to prevent, prohibit, and penalize terrorism in the Philippines. The law was passed by the 18th Congress and signed by President Rodrigo Duterte on July 3, 2020, effectively replacing the Human Security Act of 2007 on July 18, 2020.
The leader might be a
not necessarily united. In some video strands, Shekau is absent whilst a spokesman denies the killing of Muslims. And in others, Shekau is a prominent feature and no apologies are made for the murder of fellow Muslims, typical of an extremist ideology take on the group militarily, with the hope that a regional force can succeed against Boko Haram where the Nigerian army could not. Diana Magne, CNN, London.
Next, what is terrorism? Terrorism is the calculated use of violence to create a general climate of fear in a population and thereby to bring about a particular political objective. Terrorism has been practiced by political organizations with both rightist and leftist objectives, by nationalistic and religious groups, by revolutionaries, and even by state institutions such as armies, intelligence services, and police. Let me share you the 4 deadliest terrorist group internationally. The 4 deadliest terrorist group responsible for the most deaths in 2021 were Islamic State or the IS, Al-Shabaab, the Taliban, and Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin or the JNIM. These 4 groups were responsible for 3,364 deaths from terrorism, representing 47% of total deaths in 2021. Another 2,775 of terrorism deaths were not attributed to any organizations. 3 of these 4 groups were also the deadliest groups in the last year, with JNIM replacing Boko Haram this year. In the Philippines, terrorist activity continues to pose a threat from groups such as the Abu Sayyaf Group or the ASG, Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters or the BIFF, Jemaah Islamiyah or the GI, and the New People's Army or the NPA, and other associated groups. Some groups have pledged allegiance to Daesh, formerly referred to as the ISIL, and are likely to regard Westerners as legitimate targets. About in the issue concerning the law of Republic Act 11479 is that Duterte administration has effectively crafted a new weapon to brand and hound to any perceived enemies of the state. In the prevailing climate of immunity, a law so vague on the definition of terrorism can only worsen attacks against human rights offenders. The negative existence of an anti-terrorism law is the sudden arrest of a person. Not enough evidence against the person they would consider a terrorist. But in terms of positive effects of this law is the great reduction of crime in our country. The crackdown on terrorist groups that sow evil, the unreasonable resistance to the government such as breaking the law. Lastly, I do not have the power or any suggestions to resolve those issues because seeing as the law provided us protection against the terrorists and their illegal activity that give us fear to the people of the country. For me, the law is crafted effectively that we could see the result of this Duterte administration. And that could be all. Thank you and God bless.